and see if I can teach you some cool stuff, and then we'll get into the questions, okay? So my first thing is I want to show you something about what's happening on Amazon with regards to search engine optimization. So Amazon is, for the most part, the biggest e-commerce search engine in the Western world. And just like Google, it can be gamed to your advantage. And my course, Amazon SEO, and my book, all about Amazon SEO, shows you exactly how to do that, okay? So I don't want to cover that tonight. Instead, what I want to talk about is Amazon's algorithm, which is the code that they use that makes a product rank on page, wherever it may be, of Amazon search result. So if I come over to Amazon and let's go search for, I don't know, cordless, not phone, that's boring. Let's do cordless chainsaw. Cordless chainsaw, that'll do. So if I search for cordless chainsaw, every good psychopath should have one. I can see that what happens now is, just in case, this is called the SERPs, little bit of background for you. SERPs, so short for Search Engine Results Page, SERPs for short. And on the SERPs, these are all sponsored listings, which mean that they have paid, well, they haven't paid yet, they have bidded, is that the right word? Bidded to be there, and then you only pay if I click on one of these. That's called pay per click, which my course all about Amazon pay per click, or PPC for short, covers. And again, I don't want to get into any of that either. Suffice to say, if you want to rank on page 1, position 1, 2, or 3 for any search term on Amazon.com, you can do it super easily with pay per click. All right, and it's crazy, by the way, you're doing pay per click when you've got a 1-star review like that. You'd be nuts to do that, and they haven't even got any reviews. Again, pretty nuts to do that too, but that's good. Anything over 30, I think, is great. All right, so let's ignore the search. Let's ignore the sponsored results, though. Okay, now. Typically, what happens is the products that rank on page 1, which is what we're on now, the first page of the results, position 1, which is that one right there. So position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, etc., etc., etc. So this is posi number 1, okay? Position number 1, page 1 of Google, is the one that's going to get the majority of the available search traffic, even more so when you're dealing with a mobile results page, because you don't get to see these 3 like that, you just get to see 1 like that, and then they're on top of each other. So even more so on a mobile search. However, we're on a desktop search right now. So what happens in the past, and this is a very, very recent thing that's just changed, okay, but it speaks to a lot of things that I've been talking about for some time. So what would happen in the past is the thing that would be in posi number 1 would be what? That's a question for you. What typically would be in position number 1 of the Amazon search results for any given search? What was typically in posi number 1? Let's see if you can guess what that was. Let's see if we can even find it. Oh yeah, there it is. All right. So what would typically be in posi number 1? Mr. Robson said the thing with the most reviews. Yep, cool. Sometimes, not always. The things with Mr. Tui says best sales. Yes, which is kind of what Ridwan and Hitan and Jenny and Elaine say, the best seller. All right, good work. So you guys are rocking it. I'm loving your work. Best profit for Amazon. Stuart, you can go straight to the head of the class. Very smart answer. All right, so typically the thing that would be in posi number 1 would be this thing here, which is the Amazon bestseller. I'm going to talk about bestsellers tonight as well, actually, because Warren, I don't know if Warren's on the call, but Warren asked me a great question about bestsellers. So I'm going to talk about bestsellers. However, you can see that the bestseller is what? In posi number, 12, 15, something like that. Way, way down the results, okay? And the thing that's in the top spot is Amazon's choice. Now, Who knows what Amazon's choice means? What does that mean? What's Amazon's choice? What is that? Best profit for Amazon. Good stuff, guys. Their preferred, yes, good, Ashutosh, but preferred for what? Default, yes, good. All right, so Hitton says it's the default for voice activators. So you've all seen, well done, Hitton. So you've all seen that you can get the Amazon Echo, for instance, which is that little thing that sits in your front room or your kitchen, wherever it may be. And when you say, hey, Amazon, I want a cordless chainsaw, then the thing that Amazon sends you is the Amazon's choice. That's what that means. So it is the voice search preferred option. So if you order something via voice search, the Amazon's choice is what you get sent. All right, so that's what Amazon's choice means. Now, here's what's interesting. Amazon's choice is consistently on many products outranking the Amazon bestseller. All right, consistently. Let's go and check something else. In fact, let's go and check something I was only researching a little bit earlier because I think it's a great idea. Balance bike, here it is. So, balance bike for a 2-year-old. Great idea for Australia, by the way. Balance bikes, really good. Sell all day. So here's our search results, okay? And again, at the top, and look at how the search page is different, by the way. So, and that is a function of the number of products available. That's why this search page looks different. So again, we've got at the top our sponsored listings, right? So that's where you can be. Posi number 1 doesn't cost anything at all to be there. Doesn't cost a single cent until I say, yes, I'm interested, and click on it. Then it starts costing money, all right? But for right now, 0 cents have been spent for them to be in that position. But let's just ignore those 2 poses. So here we are again. Amazon's choice ranks number one for this. Let's go see if we can find, look at that, that's unbelievable. Let's come back to that in a second. Let's go see if we can find the bestseller. Here, oh, well, it's not even the correct thing. So clearly there's an issue there. So what does that mean? Well, what it means is bestseller rank is being usurped by Amazon choice rank. And what that means is Amazon's putting more emphasis on voice search than they are on any other form of search, So how do we take advantage of that is, of course, the next obvious question. And the way to take advantage of this is something that I've talked about 18 months ago, something like that, when we had our last AOE seminar up on Brizzy, or was it Brizzy or the Gold Coast, wherever it was. And I spoke at length about this. But what you have to do now is think about search terms not as typed search terms, but as spoken search terms. So what I am testing now, and have been for some considerable time, is no longer search terms that you would type in, which tend to be quite short, like balance bike for 2-year-old. Well, when you talk, you don't really talk like that. You talk and you say, Amazon, I want a balance bike for my 2-year-old, for instance. Or Amazon, I want to make my grass greener. Or Amazon, can you order me some, wherever it may be. So the phraseology of the way that the searches are being done now is changing. And so when you are putting your search terms in the back end of Amazon, it is smart idea to incorporate into those some spoken phrases, spoken way that things are said. So for instance, it could be things as simple as plurals for things, whereas it's singulars versus plurals, balance bikes versus balance bike. That's a crap example, but you get what I mean. So if your product is struggling to rank, think about how you would ask Amazon or if you went into a shop, how you would ask a shop assistant for your particular product and incorporate those words into your search terms, because clearly Amazon is prioritizing for many categories Amazon's choice over the bestseller, which is great. I think that's great. So that is something for you to consider. And also, here's a bigger picture of that as well. When you order something on Amazon through spoken search, you don't get to see the search engine results page. You don't get to see any of this. Amazon just sends you its own choice without showing you all the available options. It just sends you the choice. So there is a massive amount of volume of business that can be had by having that Amazon choice, and therefore I think it is a more valuable thing to have than the bestseller badge. Hope that makes sense. Is voice search popular in Australia? I don't know. So Hitton says, is voice search popular in Australia? Amazon does not give any of those results out. All right. So I don't know the answer to that question. All I can look at is the effects of what they're doing. I don't know specifically what changes they're making to their algorithm. I am like the doctor who tries to diagnose the problem by looking at the symptoms of it. So that's kind of what our role is. We have to kind of hit things. Not that you should hit your patients, of course, not unless they deserve it. Hit things and you kind of see what breaks, and that's kind of how we have to deal with Amazon, because Amazon doesn't give us, for the most part, I mean there are ways to get it of course, but Amazon doesn't give us that access to that data. So hope that helps. Stuart, that's exactly what I'm talking about. All right. So the other thing I want to mention as well, just while we're here, is so Amazon's terms of service. Let's talk quickly about Amazon's terms of service. So Amazon's terms of service very, very clearly state that the hero image, which is that image right there, the hero image should be 1500 by 1500 pixels, and it should be the image itself should cover 80%. So the product itself should cover 80% of the image, and it should only be the product. There shouldn't be anything else on the image, okay? Amazon's terms of service. Now, if we're reading down, look how well that stands out. 12-inch classic balance bike. That stands out like dog's balls. And they've done a brilliant job because they've incorporated a major search term into that. So they get a double whammy, a double slice of the pie. It's a very, very good strategy. It is against Amazon's terms of service, but if we click through, so Strider, if we click through, I can tell in an instant, because of that video right there, that this has been sanctioned by Amazon. So Amazon has absolutely seen this and absolutely said, hey, that's A-OK, and I can tell because of that video. And the only people in general that get those videos are people who are in partnership with Amazon through their own kind of wholesale system that Amazon has. Vendor Central, that's called. So I know for a fact that Amazon have seen that. And look how good these images are. You would do well to take some cues, shall we say, from those particular images. It's very, very smart. All right, so Daryl says, is it the same for Google Home Search? Yes, absolutely. But for me, it's much more important on Amazon because that's where the majority of the e-commerce searches start. So I'd focus on Amazon over anything else. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales have used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.